Okay. Welcome everyone who's coming in. Do we have the microphone on? Is this working?
Yeah.
So glad to have you here on this wonderful Shabbat. Some of you have been attending our annual meeting, and we welcome you. We're going to take a couple of minutes to let you come on, but if you are just here already, we're so glad to have you. I think I need to get a talus, so let me go get that.
Me too.
Yeah, you need it to leave? Well, mine is in the car. All my belly to it. I'll just take one from the outside.
While we're waiting, Shabbat Shalom, everyone. I'm standing here and I'm seeing all these faces of people that I just saw on Zoom at our congregational meeting. I like just seeing you better on Zoom than just seeing pictures on a chair. And it has been so nice seeing so many of you in the parking lot for our live drive-in services. And I look forward to the day when we are together in an even better setting than that. And thank you, Rabbi and Cantor, for helping to fill while we were dealing with our wonderful technical issues at the congregational meeting. Technology is a wonderful thing when it works.
Maybe we'll do an opening song first, I think, and then
הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבט אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבט אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב, הנה מה טוב, יא לה 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 לה. הנה מה טוב, הנה מה טוב, יא לה 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 לה. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבט אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבט אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, יא לה 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 לה, יא לה 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 לה, יא לה 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 לה. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, יא לה 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 לה, יא לה 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 לה, la 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 la. Everyone, הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבט אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבט אחים גם יחד.
welcome. How good it is to be together. In unexpected ways, we come together on this Shabbat in a way that we were hoping to be outside, but this terrible heat wave that we're in has brought us indoors, which is much more comfortable for us, but it leaves us here streaming and not seeing you guys. But one of the added benefits is that we had just had our annual meeting, and we have Bruce Korus, our synagogue president, here, who's been managing all the various gymnastics of trying to figure out the scheduling of the Zoom. Normally, he would have given out our President's Award earlier during the annual meeting, but we thought, why not give it out for everyone? And I think he'll explain why that's a really good reason. So I'm going to invite Bruce over to his microphone to present his President's Award.
Thank you, Rabbi. Shabbat Shalom again, everyone. As you know, the President's Award is always given to a member who really stepped up in the past year, someone who made a difference for our temple or our community. As you also know, this is a year unlike any other. And when I considered this year's award, I knew I had to do something different. So I asked myself, should I give it to the clergy? During this time of great uncertainty, they have gone above and beyond to keep you, our members, connected to Shir Shalom spiritually, religiously, and musically. We have not missed a beat when it comes to Friday night services. Some nights our live stream viewership has rivaled high holiday numbers. Now our parking lot services, weather permitting, are bringing us together in a whole new way. They've come up with wonderful special events and have been here for you when you and your family have needed them. Then I asked myself, should I give it to the staff? They have worked tirelessly to maintain all our temple functions, from finances to logistics to education to building upkeep and more. They have put in countless hours making sure that CSS meets your needs however we can. They have dedicated themselves to this temple and to the members. Or should I give the award to the leadership? The board and executive committee give so much to the temple. They give their time, they give their wisdom, they give their passion. We've met often, and believe me, we've talked more often than that. I rely on them so much, and you get the benefit of their hard work. Or should I give the award to our members? You have stepped forward in so many ways. You're always asking, what can I do for my fellow members? What can I do for the temple? You've volunteered. You've come up with ideas for programs and fundraisers. Above all, you've been patient and understanding and supportive, and I am so grateful for that. So I asked myself these questions, and the answer was an emphatic yes to all 4 of the questions. How appropriate, 4 questions, and I'm not the youngest person, which is why this year's President's Award is being given to everyone at Congregation Shir Shalom. Let me read you what I wrote and what appears on the plaque. In light of this year's extraordinary circumstances, this year's President's Award is given to an extraordinary group, the clergy, staff, leadership, and members of Congregation Shir Shalom. Thank you for your dedication, hard work, patience, understanding, and support. Even when we are separated, we are always together. I have never been more proud and appreciative of our temple family. This plaque will hang in our lobby. When you're back in the building, it's one of the first things you see when you come in here. Again, an extraordinary group of people, and I can't thank you enough for being our Shir Shalom family. Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom. We're having a little technical mic issues, but I think it's working now. So you still don't hear it?
No, I want to put it right directly in.
Okay, so we're gonna just bear with us for 1 second. Bruce, why don't you go to the camera over here and show them the award? Show them the award. So just give us 1 second. Sure. Bruce is going to come out in front of the camera so you can see the award. And maybe take a picture. We'll post it on Facebook as well. Oh, that's much better. Okay, thank you. Oh, now I hear. So, Bruce, we'll post that a beautiful award, and thank you. You are certainly, that was an amazing presentation. I'm sorry we had some technical difficulties in the middle, but it's an amazing opportunity to really thank so many. I echo what Bruce said, and I want to give it right back to him and to Larry, who's sitting with us today, and Joanne. We have a real team effort, and it requires everyone, and my heart is overflowing. One of the ways that we show the overflowing of our love is through lighting candles. Candles are our extension from generation to generation. We did do our candle lighting on the Zoom of the annual meeting, but I invite you to turn to page 120 in your Mishkan Tefillah, if you have a copy. Or it's available online, and we will have our candle lighting. As we're lighting our candles, wherever you are, I want you to think back at the joys that you have on this past week, or maybe during this entire period of COVID. Try to think about what you want to hold on to, what you want to take with you, and also what you want to let go of. And as we light those candles, allow that warmth to come into your heart on page 120. And I'll turn it over to the cantor to lead the melody.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kirshanu bevitzvotav v'tzivav
Blessed are these candles that light our way through Shabbat, and we lift our Kiddush cups. Page 123. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei pri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitchenu mitzvotav v'ratzavanu, b'shabbat kodsho, v'yava uvratzon, hinchilanu, zikaron l'maseh v'reshit, ki hu yom l'techila l'mikra'e kodesh, zecher l'tziat mitzrayim, kivanu v'acharta, v'yotanu kidashta, mikol amim, v'shabat kodshecha, v'yava uvratzon, hinchaltanu, Baruch atah Adonai, mekadesh hashabbat. Amen. L'chaim. Boy, that mic works well now. All right. Well, I think we've had a chance to see one another, many of us on the Zoom. We had 52 participants over there. We get to see your smiling faces. It's wonderful. I'm just staring right at you guys that sent in your pictures. And by the way, we're hoping to fill the sanctuary for High Holy Days. So if you haven't sent your pictures in, please do so. So we're going to turn to Lecha Dodi, page 138. As we welcome the bride of Shabbat into the room, we'll sing that first verse and the ninth verse. On the ninth verse, we turn and we face the doorways, wherever our doorway is, and we bow to Shabbat as she enters into our rooms.
Lecha lecha dodi, likrat likrat kala, pnei pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha lecha dodi, likrat likrat kala, pnei pnei Shabbat nekabela. La 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 la. Lecha dodi, likrat likrat kala, pnei pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha lecha dodi, likrat likrat kala, pnei pnei Shabbat nekabela. Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad, Hishmi'anu el ha'amiuchad, Adonai echad u'shemo echad, Shibut tiferet v'nitchila, la 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 la, Echad dodi, likrat likakala, Pnei pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha lecha dodi, likrat likakala, Pnei pnei Shabbat nekabela. Boi v'shalom ateret bala, gam b'simcha u'b'tzola, doch yamonei am segula. Boi kala, boi kala. Lecha lecha dodi, likrat likakala, pnei pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha lecha dodi, likrat likakala, pnei pnei Shabbat nekabela. La 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 la. Lecha dodi, likrat likrat kala, pnei pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha lecha dodi, likrat likakala, pnei pnei Shabbat nekabela.
Welcome, bride of Shabbat. And now that we are gathered together, I'll take a moment to look around. I actually have some people to greet, which is unusual in here. So we're going to turn to page 146, to the Baruch Hu, our call of community. And we feel you here, even if you're not present with us. 146.
La 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 la
We turn to page 147. If you have a prayer book, please join with me wherever you are. There is one who sings the song of his own life, finding everything within himself. There is one who leaves the circle of herself and sings the song of her people. There is one whose voice rings with the song of humanity, hoping for the highest perfection. And there is one who rises even higher, uniting all with all creatures, with all worlds, filling the universe with song, Nivarech. And we take that into Ahavat Olam, page 150.
אהבת עולם בית ישראל עמך אהבת תורה ומצוות חוקים ומשפטים אותנו לימדת על כן אדוני אלוהינו בשוכבנו ובקומנו נשיח בחוקיך ונשמח בדברי תורתך ובמצוותיך לעולם ועד כי הם היינו באורך ימינו ובהם נהגה יומם ולילה.
Baruch atah Adonai Ohev Amo Yisrael. Blessed are you, God, who loves your people Israel. Page 152, 153, the Shema.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kavod u'malchuto le'olam va'ed. Baruch Shem Kavod u'malchuto le'olam va'ed. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad.
You may be seated. We turn to page 154 as we recite V'ahavta together.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבבך ושיננתם לבניך ודיברתם בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם לאות על ידיך והיו לתותבות בין עיניך וכתבתם המזוזות ביתך ובשעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
Page 157. Let's read together the second reading, the reading on the bottom. In a world torn by violence and pain, a world far from the wholeness and peace, Give us the courage to say, Adonai, there is one God in heaven and earth. The high heavens declare your glory. May each reveal your justice and love. From bondage in Egypt we were delivered. At Sinai we bound ourselves to your way. Inspired by prophets and instructed by sages, time and again we overcame oppressive forces. Though our failings are many and our faults are great, it has been our glory to bear witness to our God, keeping alive in dark ages your vision of a world redeemed. Let us continue to work for the day when the nations will be one and at peace. Then shall we rejoice as Israel did, singing on the shores of the sea. We turn to 158, Mi Chamocha, the Song of the Sea.
Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Mi kamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha neda b'kodesh, nora tehillah hosef eleh. Nora tehilot hosef eleh. Malechutecha u'rabu vonecha, b'kei hayom lifnei Moshe. Seir li'anu ve'ameru, seir li'anu ve'ameru, Adonai Eloheinu ve'olam va'ed. Adonai Eloheinu ve'olam va'ed. Everyone with me. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha neder b'kodesh, nora tehilot hosef eleh, nora tehilot hosef eleh.
We're going to turn to page 161, and what a blessing it is to have Paul Staley with us. Often during the summer months, we don't have him because it's harder to be outside. But since we're inside, we have him back, and that means we can sing from the left side of the page, Let There Be Love.
Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Ashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu, Ashkivenu L'Shalom V'hamidenu Shamreinu L'chaim Sukkot Shalom Echad Ashkivenu Adonai השכבנו לשם.
I invite you to rise for the Amidah, the standing prayer, which begins on 164 with the words Adonai Sfatai Tiftach. God, open our lips that our mouth may declare your praise. And we'll continue out loud through 170.
Adonai Sfatai Tiftach ufi yagid tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah. האל הגדול, הגיבור והנורא, עליון, גומר חסדים טובים, וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לפני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה. מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי הכל, אתה רב להושיע. מוריד הטל, מחכה חיים וחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים. סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו, לשני יפות, מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומדבר לך מלך מביט ומחיים, ומצמיח ישועה. ונאמן אתה לך חיות הכל, ברוך אתה אדוני, מחיי הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הקדוש.
Take a few moments for your own private prayers, and we'll resume the service on page 180.
עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו, העמקו ישראל, ואמרו אמן. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו, יא כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו, יא כל ישראל. Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kol Yisrael.
O God of peace, please send peace to us. We are going to turn to our healing prayer, which is on page 371, the Mi Sheberach. And let me read our list of names. Thank you to Nancy McGorry, who always prepares these so beautifully for us. We're thinking about Sally Anderson, Gloria Berzone, Deborah Cohen, Glorine Curtis, Gabe Ferber, Myra Horowitz, Rick Mahler, Melanie McLeod, Jennifer Milich, Joni Schwartz, Sherry Scott, Barbara Shapiro, Eleanor Weiss, Gershom Ben Amira, Tinoch Ben Rivka, Levi Ben Gedalia, Gershom Ben Shlomo, and Dina Leah Bat Miriam. So I invite you, wherever you are, to say some names out loud. We do have some people here, so if you'd like to say anyone. As we bring all those names into our hearts for the Mi Sheberach on page 371.
Mi Sheberach Avotenu Mekor HaBracha Source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mekor HaBracha Avotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shelema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
We send lots of love and blessings and support to all those out there in need of it, and all those that you're thinking about and treasuring in your heart. May God's healing surround you, and may you never feel alone in this world. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. 12 years ago, when my family and I picked up from the Philadelphia area to come to Buffalo, a lot of people gave us the scary stories. They said, "You're going to need those coats." I'm sure, Cantor, you must have gotten the same type of stories.
They actually talked about boots and shovels.
Boots and shovels.
Bring
yeah.
your shovel, or
Bring
don't
the
forget
boots.
your boots.
Yeah, don't forget your boots and your shovels. And they tried to scare me. They really did. But I was super excited because when it comes to the debate between cold and warm, I would always choose cold. There is something about this hot, sticky weather that really makes you very, very uncomfortable. This is as hot as I can remember it. Actually, believe it or not, and I think Cantor will not believe this, but in the first 4 years that I was in Buffalo, it didn't reach 90 once. It's hard to believe in a week when we've hit, I think it almost hit 100 here. And I was super excited, not only to have cold and snow, things that sometimes are lacking in Philadelphia, where I was from, but also because the summers are so pleasant. Who knew it would be like this? Actually, it was on this week, Amherst. Some of you live out there in Amherst. And if you do, you might have had something occur to you like occurred to my family. We had our first blackout in all of our time in Buffalo. 12 years, we had never before had the power go out. And for my kids, this was a very novel experience. So they said to me, Abba, they said, "What did you do before air conditioning?" They couldn't understand how when I was growing up, like many of you, maybe I might have had more than you. I had a fan blowing out of my window. And times like this, it was almost impossible to sleep. My daughter actually went all the way down to the basement because it's much cooler down there. But there's something about this hot, sticky weather. And when we think about this, this is the way you want to feel when you're in the wilderness. That's the book that we're in, Bamidbar. And when we think about the wilderness, it doesn't describe the heat at all in the Torah. We have no idea. But when I imagine the wilderness, it is like it is this week. It's this hot, uncomfortable weather that makes you want to do anything to get cool in whatever way you can. And of course, it also leads to temperatures rising, not just in the weather, but also inside, and also leads to a lot of conflict. And that's what we have in all of Bamidbar, but most especially in this week's Torah portion, Pinchas. Pinchas actually comes in that very moment where this terrible calamity had happened, and we're right in the after effects of it. And we have Pinchas, who managed to save the people from even worse harm, but he had to use violence to do it. And this week he is given basically a Medal of Honor, or as they say in the Torah, a Briti Shalom, a covenant of peace or of friendship. So I was thinking about Pinchas, and I was thinking about what it means to make peace in our lives. We think of it as so easy. All we have to do is get along. All we need to do is to basically be nice to one another, and peace will happen. But we know that this is really not the way things are, that it's complicated. So I prepared a quiz, and I actually put it on Facebook. I didn't see a lot of you chime in, so if you'd like to, there is still an opportunity. But I'm going to read the 4 questions that I had about how complicated it is. My wife asked me online, she said, "What would your answer be?" I bet you're going to figure out which one it is, which door I would go through. Okay, so a person not wearing a mask descends into a group that you're in of mask wearers. What do you do? Do you run away shrieking, "Get away, get away, get away"? B, pull down your own mask and berate them for choosing to put your grandmother in harm's way? C, pretend like nothing happened at all and just proceed on as normal? Or D, hand them a brand new mask that you had been storing in your pocket for just such occasion? Okay, think about what your answer is going to be, and we're going to go to the second question. Question number 2. A good friend of the opposite political party. Now, you might think this is amazing, but that is actually a possibility. A good friend of the opposite political party says something that offends you to the bone. What do you do? Do you scream out a list of obscenities ending with, "If you don't believe me, I'll see you on November 3rd"? B, say a little louder that you meant, "And here I thought we were friends"? C, politely excuse yourself and leave the room? Or D, listen to them and try to find out where they are coming from? See, I think you know where I'm headed with this. Okay, number 3. And this comes from a real story, so I know it's happened to a lot of you out there. Someone you've known a long time tells a racist, sexist joke in your presence. What do you do? Do you laugh hesitantly, hoping to just move on without addressing what was said at all? Do you B, remind the person that the age of Archie Bunker ended 40 years ago? C, do you walk away and unfriend the person on Facebook? Or D, do you tell the person that the joke made you uncomfortable and begin a conversation about why they needed to tell the joke in the first place? Okay? And last one, and most importantly for our annual meeting night, a person from a rival congregation, I won't say which one, comes to attend your synagogue services, what do you do? Do you A, hand them a brochure and membership forms? B, tell them how awful their synagogue is and how much better your synagogue is? C, ignore them entirely and hang out with your own synagogue friends? Or D, go out of your way to talk them and make them feel at home? So I bet you guessed it. I'm sure you have, right? My answer is, of course, D. That's where I'm steering the conversation. I figured out, and if you read my Torah thoughts, that we have 3 different responses to conflict when we witness it in front of us. We could, like Pinchas, resort to violence, almost never a good thing. We could, as I mentioned, the leader and the head of Reform from 200 years ago who brought it to America, who about the Civil War, Isaac Mayer Wise, he said, silence is the preferred method of communication, not say anything and not try to change things. So violence or silence, or as we also learn in this Torah portion with the daughters of Zelophehad, who just approach and start a conversation with Moses about why they've been left out of the inheritance and why they deserve to receive it even though their father has died and there's no male heirs. And you know what? They are rewarded for it, and they receive that inheritance, and they help generations of women after them who were fighting for this very same thing. So we have a choice. Violence, as Pinchas did, silence, as Isaac Mayer Wise did, or conversation. And I hope that we choose conversation. In this day and age, as the temperature rises, it's easy to do some of the other options I mentioned, to shut people out, to unfriend them, to just walk away, or to scream at them. And I think that's never the right approach. The best thing is to learn where people are, what their history is, why they think the way that they do, and hopefully learn from them. That is what is the essence of democracy, and that's really the essence of being in community. So wherever you are, no matter how hot it gets here, I hope that you can have those deep conversations because they're very worthwhile, and that is really the only way that we can find our way out of the conflicts that result in everyday life. And if you have things or if you have responses, send them to me. I'd love to hear, post them on Facebook, and share the word to move towards conversation. Okay, so we are, oh my gosh, we're at the end of the service. How do you like that? All right, I'm going to invite you to rise for Aleinu, page 586, as we pray for a world that's redeemed, a world that's better, a world that's filled with God and connection to others. Page 586.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחת האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם בקורבננו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא.
Page 591.
ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ויאמר יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו
You may be seated wherever you are, And I had one other reading that I meant to read before by Seth Godin. I subscribe to his listserv. He's a Buffalonian, wonderful insights into marketing and other things. This is one of his notes this week, and I think it's appropriate after Aleinu as well. It says, "Take good notes. Everyone is entitled to their own experience. In fact, that's all we ever get, our own take on the world around us, informed by where we've been and where we seek to go. Sometimes we get the chance to hear about someone else's experiences. In those moments, it's tempting to use the opportunity to explain a situation, to excuse, or even to persuade. Perhaps it pays to simply take good notes. Acknowledge what you're hearing, encourage and amplify and find empathy. There are plenty of opportunities to expound on our own version of the world. Every once in a while, we have the rare chance to explore someone else's." I thought that was really, really beautiful. All right, we're going to turn to the Mourner's Kaddish. And let me get our list. Again, thank you, Nancy, for preparing them for us. And of course, okay. Here we go. The nice thing, as opposed to Larry's notes that he gave us at the annual meeting, you can enlarge these on my screen. All right, so this week on our Shiva list, we're remembering Marvin Grossman, a dear friend of Tom Lansing, and Patricia Munter. Those of you know Ann Munter in our Shiruna choir or CSS pop-up. We're thinking about here for her loss of her mom. On our Shloshim list, we're still remembering Irving Atlas, Ruth Axelrod, Bertram Breitbart, Harold Breitman, Roberta Bobby DeBruin, Ruth Elkin, Frederick Looper, Sylvia Mintz, Mildred Sachs, Stephen Scheiber, Nate Silver, Stuart Silverman, and Howard Small. And on our yard site list from years past, we're remembering Robert Bardak, Harold Bernstein, Phyllis Cohen Blakefield, Esther Brody, Stephen Bougie, Barbara S. Berwick, Edith Cohen, Ruth D. Ellis, Grace L. Elmy, Ida Epstein, Leon Farhi, Samuel Fertig, Louis Fishman, Robert Friedman, Carl Fry, Florence Galinsky, Charles Giller, Bernard Goldman, Lottie Grossberg, Henry Hubush, Dorothy Dot Landers, Samuel Liederman, Edwin E. Leff, Howard Lessman, Miriam Kaufman Lester, Harry Mackler, Harvey Mandelkern, Mildred Nathan, Joseph Peller, Henry Reinhardt, Ruth Shack, Charles Sellers, Harry Sirota, Sarah Smith, Benjamin Wallens, Tyler Joseph White, Ada Wolpin, and Ann Zimmerman. If you have other names or you want to tell whoever you're with about the person that's dear to you, I'll invite those of you that are with me right now if you have any names. And we turn to the Mourner's Kaddish on page 598. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, bi'alma divra chirutei v'yamlik malchutei, b'chayachon v'yamachon v'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael, b'agalav v'zman kariv v'yimru, amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevarach le'olam olmei almaya, yitbarak v'yishtabak v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalal, shemei d'kudashah b'rechu. Leila min kol birchata v'shirata, tush b'chata v'nechamata, damiran v'yalma v'yimru, amen. Yehi shlomo Rabbah min shemaya, v'chaim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimru, amen. Oseh shalom b'mramav, hu yaseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'al kol yoshvei tevel v'yimru, amen. May the one who creates harmony and high bring peace to us, to all Israel, to all the world, and we say, amen. I'm going to invite Bruce Corris, who's with us in the room, to give the announcements.
Shabbat Shalom. I never thought I would hear Seth Godin quoted in a Shabbat service. My all-time favorite line from Seth Godin is, if cat food was made for cats, it would be mouse-flavored. Anyway, Shabbat Shalom again, everyone. I want to thank you again to those of you who attended our first ever virtual annual congregational meeting. Obviously, we had tried to be outside tonight, but the weather did not cooperate, and we apologize again for our technical difficulties. Thank you to the rabbi and the cantor for helping to fill time while we were trying to get our act together, but I do hope that you were able to be there and be able to be part of it. Congratulations to our 3 new board members, and congratulations to all of you for being the recipients of this year's President's Award. Special thank you, of course, to Rabbi Alex, Cantor Frank, and Paul Staley. It's nice to be in this room with the 3 of you. I have not been in this room with the 3 of you in about, I think it's 17 or 18 weeks. Anyway, and we do appreciate you guys maintaining our Erev Shabbat tradition. Mazel tov to Zelda Abramovich and her family on her upcoming bat mitzvah tomorrow morning, and mazel tov to Noah Brooks and his family on his upcoming bar mitzvah tomorrow afternoon. It's a B'nai Mitzvah double play tomorrow. Also tomorrow, we have our virtual offerings, Torah study at 9 a.m. Then the bar mitzvah of Noah is at 7:30 p.m. Torah study will be available via Zoom. The bar mitzvah will be live streamed on Boxcast. The website will have the links. Our Erev Shabbat candle lighting via Zoom, other than when we need to fill time because we can't get the annual meeting started, is taking a break for July and August. I look for it to be back in the fall. Tuesday, Shavuos. Be here. We have another Shavuos from 4 p.m. till 7 p.m. Thank you again to Larry for all your hard work. This is so important to us. We don't have bingo, and we don't anticipate having bingo back anytime soon, possibly ever. So a successful Shavuos is very, very important to us. So please come, please support it. You can pre-order your meal and save $1. Visit the website or call the temple office. It is drive-through only. Please wear a mask for pickup. Please join Rabbi Alex, preferably a mask that fits better than this one. Please join Rabbi Alex and other local religious leaders for a virtual panel event, a theological response to the root cause of systematic racism in America. Will take place, it's very topical, will take place Thursday from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. via Zoom. A link will be available in a few days. We're going to have another Shred It event. Thank you again to Larry for making that happen. That will be a week from tomorrow, Saturday, July 18th, from 10 a.m. to 1 o'clock p.m. We know that during this time, you've been sorting out papers and cleaning up stuff, so you got shredding. This is a great way to get rid of it, and of course, help the temple. It is Drive Up. We're going to be having another virtual concert with Sam Sugarman a week from tomorrow night. That's at 7 o'clock p.m. on live stream, and then a meet and greet will follow via Zoom. Sam is a really cool singer. I don't know if everyone has heard her sing, but she's really, really cool. And she's going to be big someday. I know she is. And she's doing a Zoom concert for us via live stream a week from tomorrow night. We mentioned the Shir Shalom Outreach Program. So many of you have volunteered to help out in that and are connecting with other members and making phone calls. And those of you that need phone calls or need errands run, please just contact Nancy McGorry in the temple office. Rabbi and Cantor mentioned all of the pictures. It's the first time I've seen it. It's really, really cool to see so many pictures of all of our congregants who sit in their usual spot. And so, as the rabbi mentioned, send them in. We're trying to be outside whenever possible, weather permitting. When we're inside, the rabbi and the cantor would certainly like to see more pictures. And by the time high holidays roll around, maybe we can just fill the room with pictures. So if you have pictures that you would like to send in, email them to Nancy in the temple office. That's nancy.mcgorry@shirshalombuffalo.org. Thank you to everyone who has already sent their pictures in. Timing, as you know, our summer services are now 8 o'clock p.m. There are going to be a park and pray out there, weather permitting. Tonight, of course, we felt it was just going to be too hot to be outside tonight, and we moved it from 6 o'clock to 8 o'clock as a regular start time, just because 6 o'clock this time of year out there on all that asphalt would be really unbearable, and we want to be careful with your health. So 8 o'clock, hopefully next Friday night, we'll be out there for a drive-in, and we hope to see you then. There's a movie night, a drive-in movie coming up 2 weeks in 2 weeks. It is Saturday, July 25th. Movie title to be determined, to be announced, I should say, but that will be going on Saturday night, July 25th. We're going to have a drive-in movie, so that should be a lot of fun. If you need anything at all, please contact the rabbi, the cantor, myself, or Joanne. We are here for you, and as I have said so many times, thank you so much for being part of our Shir Shalom family.
I also want to wish a mazel tov to Robin and Alan, Robin Raphael and Al Gallen on their 25th wedding anniversary today, I believe. So wonderful mazel tov. Oh, there she's moving Bruce in. And also we have a wedding this weekend in our synagogue family. Gabrielle Kerman and Zach are getting married on Sunday. So mazel tov to both of you. Wonderful to have joyous occasions during this difficult time. And thanks again to Bruce and to Larry and Joanne and Paul and Cantor we're all here together. Okay, so we are ready for our final hymn, page 625 for Adon Olam.
Adon Olam,
Adon Olam,
Asher Malach,
Asher Malach,
B'Terem Kol,
B'Terem Kol,
Yitzin Divran, Yit Nasa,
Yeit Nasa,
B'Chefso Kol, Azoy Melech Shemonika, Adon Olam, V'Acharei, Kiflot Zakol, Levado Yimlok Nora, Adon Olam, Ve'hu Haya, Ve'hu Hofer,
Adon Olam,
Hashem Malach,
Asher Malach,
B'Terem Kol,
B'Terem Kol,
Yitzin Nivral, Yit Nasa,
Yeit Nasa,
B'Chefso Kol, Azoy Melech Shemonika, Adon Olam, V'hu Echad, V'yein Sheni, Necham Shilo Lechachbira, Adon Olam, V'li Reshit, V'li Tachlit, V'lo Ha'oza HaMizra, Adon Olam, Adon Olam,
Adon Olam,
Asher Malach,
Asher Malach,
B'Terem Kol,
B'Terem Kol,
Yitzin Nivral, Yit Nasa,
Yeit Nasa,
B'Chefso Kol, Azoy Melech Shemonika, Adon Olam, V'hu Eli, V'chai Koali, V'tzorchem Libi Yitzhara, Adon Olam, V'hu Nisi, Umanus Li, Menakosi B'yom Ekra, Adon Olam, Adon Olam,
Adon Olam,
Asher Malach,
Asher Malach,
B'Terem Kol,
B'Terem Kol,
Yitzin Nivral, Yit Nasa,
Yeit Nasa,
B'Chefso Kol, Azoy Melech Shemonika, Adon Olam, B'Yado Avkid Ruchi, B'Yein Tishon V'Yira, Adon Olam, B'Yimruchi, Geviyati, Adon Ali V'lo B'Bra, Adon Olam, Adon Olam,
Adon Olam,
Asher Malach,
Asher Malach,
B'Terem Kol,
B'Terem Kol,
Yitzin Nivral, Yit Nasa,
Yeit Nasa.
B'Chefso Kol, Azoy Melech Shemonika, Adon Olam.
All right, we have our Hamotzi. So wherever you are, lift up your challahs. Oh, it's a beautiful one. Thank you, Joanne. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. May you have the blessing of Shabbat, of peace and rest upon you on this Shabbat. And we send so many blessings of love and support your way. Thank you for joining us. Yeah, Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Torah,
Shabbat Shalom.